stir fry today, and I should have mixed a little more cornstarch in with water to
Stiffen it up?
thicken it up, but I didn't feel like it. So
No,
James is eating kidney beans with his, and I'm eating white beans. Because I don't like kidney beans at all.
yeah, I think I prefer them to the white beans. Not a big fan of beans, really, but they're healthy. So.
Yeah.
A little added
Yeah.
source of something or other. What would that be, lilac stuff? Lilac seed?
No, it'd be from an ash, but
That's
don't
what
know
it looks
where.
like, because it's that kind of...
Yeah, it's the same
I don't know if they
Samara.
call them
Yeah, they do.
Samaras or Samaras.
Yeah, they do.
You just got one wing on them. Is it the elms that have the double wing? No?
No, it's the maples.
Yeah. Anyway, there are plenty of ash trees in the neighborhood. Plenty of elms. Not a lot of maples in this section of the country. We used to plant more maples.
Yeah.
Presumably from the Amur River region of Eastern Asia. I think they did okay here. Not the greatest. There were some trees that would just kind of like die on the vine, but that's not a horribly mixed up metaphor. We even planted the occasional elm. That was kind of hopeful. Of course, they've been worrying about elm trees and Dutch elm disease.
Well,
since the 70s.
Recently, James told me recently about how somebody brought in Dutch elm disease now into Lethbridge on firewood, and it's like
presumably on firewood. In the
I
uplands
don't believe
area.
that story.
Why? Not on firewood. What do you
Not
mean?
on firewood.
Okay, how did it come in?
Somebody brought it in on purpose.
Okay, why would that be?
Well, it creates jobs.
Anyway, in the Parks Department.
So it's not on firewood that someone brought it in. Somebody brought it in. Because basically Lethbridge is like an island.
Of not having Dutch elm movement?
Yeah. There's elms in Lethbridge, and then there's nothing but prairie grass and stuff for miles and miles.
Well, someone would have to bring something.
Yeah. But it wasn't somebody bringing it in on firewood.
So you figure it was
deliberate.
Okay, anyway. Public workers or private?
I don't know. I would guess somebody within the municipal government.
Okay. So then they could plant more trees, or is that?
Oh, they'll keep planting them. They'll take them out, they'll keep planting them.
We weren't planting
It doesn't really matter if trees are sick or dying as long as they're getting to replant them.
Anyway, it's going to be tough. I think they're cutting back parks. We'll see. Here, probably lots of different places in Alberta. The province, because of their crazy approach to COVID, along with other things.
In fact, it might have been a federal government or provincial government. I don't know. But my guess is government. Somebody, this was a deliberate thing. Anyway, our stir fry today is entirely, except for the beans and those carrots. It was given to us by the Salvation Army. Oh, and the tamari and the hoisin sauce. Those things were. But the zucchini, the peppers, the little carrots, everything. The greens are from the bag of like kale salad with the Brussels sprouts shredded up and stuff. Kale salad mix. I just, I knew from, they gave me as much salad as I wanted the week before, and I realized I had a hard time. Come Tuesday, the salads were not great. I was picking out a lot of rotten stuff. But up until Tuesday, I could eat 4 bags of salad a day, which, that's awesome. So, this last Thursday when I went, there was as much salad as I could take again, and I was like, well, I know I can eat a case full. But I took a few bags extra of the kale mix, the kale salad mix, because I thought, I bet you I could freeze it and it'll make a great stir fry, and it's good. And maybe a month earlier or something, I got these little baby corns from the Salvation Army. They were fresh, not so fresh, they were on their way out, which is why they were at the Salvation Army. But the woman that was volunteering there, she was like, I don't know what you do with those. You could take as much as you want. And I thought, well, I don't know how much I could take. They had lots. So I took just a few bags. But I thought, at the time, I asked James, well, do you want me to make stir fry with them now or wait? And he was like, oh, you better freeze them. So I froze them, and now we have lots of stir fry ingredients. So it worked out great. So I used more than 1 bag worth of that salad.
This is Angel here.
Yeah, and she keeps wanting some of the
She's
food.
intent on being a internet star. Too late to be a movie star.
Maybe you guys will get some of this baby corn or something. I think you'd like it.
Oh, I think they think they might be. I think they might be right. Angel is
She's right in there.
yeah. Got her nose in the trough. Were you wanting to eat James's food?
Anyway, what else do you want to talk about today?
Oh, I don't know. Did we finish up talking about that jewelry?
Oh,
stuff?
the woman that was only helping herself and making out like she was some sort of
Robin Hood or something like that.
yeah, like trying to save the world and empower
Stir up a
them.
revolution.
Yeah.
Give up. Whatever. The rodents, you know what about.
Yeah, if lots of people buy my jewelry.
Wow, that's really
It'll
helping out
save
poor
the whole
people because
world.
I'm a poor person. Yeah. Jewelry. Oh my God.
It'll empower people to
What would have she taken at New York University? Like
Art.
Art? Jeez.
That's my guess.
Pardon the cussing. It's awful. But we have an artist friend of ours. And I'd say that he's maybe the best artist in the universe. Really. He went to the Alberta College of Art and Design. And he's over 70 now. And
Yeah, he went there with Joni Mitchell.
yeah, I asked.
She was younger than
Did
him,
he-
though, I think, at the time.
Not much, but
But,
anyway, I asked him. I just put two and two together. I hadn't realized how old he was, you know? Kind of had some
but
youthful vigor. So I
her
asked
name
him.
wasn't Mitchell at that time.
He said, well, you know, there was this girly term he used, because he's a different generation
Different
from
generation.
me, even from me. I used to get up and sing. Her name was Joan Anderson or something like that. He put it funny, you know.
Yeah.
He used to get up and sing at the, I don't know, Hootenannies on Friday nights or whatever.
But earlier on, I don't know, I had asked him over the years, I was like, teach me what you know,
About
and he didn't really know how to teach the stuff. He knew how to do art, but
I mean,
whatever.
not just to yip and yap it, but to actually do it. And here's what he said.
He said when he went to the College of Art, he learned how to do art.
How to do art, okay?
And when he went to the university,
He did both. What did he learn there?
how to talk it.
How to talk. So this woman, not a girl, on CBC had learned how to yap art. And it's just full of all the cliches and tropes. You got that? You guys, you folkoses, you use tropes like going out of style. The main one you use is favorite of Stalin and of Hitler too. The big lie. That's your favorite trope. The big lie.
I brought one out for each of us, but
You're going for both of them. That's good. There's plenty more where they came from.
this is one thing we've been able to get every week if we wanted to, basically. It's nectar or mandarin oranges, not nectarine.
Yeah,
James would love nectarine.
it's too bad we didn't see what the jewelry was like. You know, like I just don't think of African sub-Saharan culture being based on jewelry. There might have been some stuff kind of in the Sahara and some sub-Saharan based on gold, but not on jewelry.
The women would wear it.
What, the gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, but gold is not jewelry.
Yeah, but they'd wear it as jewelry.
Yeah, I guess. But again, we don't know what she was churning out. There was no real technical discussion. The interviewer was going, you know, like whenever she came up with another, not a new, shibboleth, you know, wow, you know, like, did she actually describe, we listened to a fair amount of it, what she actually did?
Yeah.
Nothing. And the interviewer wasn't getting that out of her, and we don't know. Were there any examples of jewelry for at least the interviewer to say, hey, this looks like so-and-so? There's a total bogus garbage interview done by a bogus garbage interviewer with, I'm afraid, a totally bogus garbage, how can I know any different? Artist.
Yeah.
Because I was getting bogus garbage jibber-jabber from her.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to, at this point, being really more than frustrated.
Incensed.
Yeah, by the CBC. But, gosh, I think it's getting worse.
It is getting worse. It's gotten way worse. I mean, it was bad with the Greta, whatever her name was, from the Scandinavian area, Sweden or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it got really bad with the COVID. They weren't covering the COVID properly. They were adopting the party line, which was you don't close borders early on. And then they were going, thank heavens we can move away from the COVID with the George Floyd thing. And that's when they really started. Now it's with the residential school thing.
Yeah, they're just desperately trying to give us any kind of non-news to avoid giving us the news. And like we were listening to somebody was talking about their book that they've written, and it was about somebody with OCD, some type of OCD, and it was a mystery, I guess. And I didn't gather who the author was or what the book title was, but and so I wasn't planning to talk about it, but here I am. And one thing, like the interviewer was, I don't like her at all. Actually, she does. I don't know what her name is. You would know. You would
Is it
know these
the
things.
What's the Big Idea program with Nala Ayat?
I don't know. The one that gives the book reviews.
Oh,
She
her,
always-
Sheila Rogers.
Yes, that's her.
Yeah,
So,
the person
oh my
who was
gosh,
a
I can't
backup
stand
for a
her.
Reach for the Top team. Pauline's mom was on a real Reach for the Top team, not a backup. Did I get that right?
As far as I know,
Yeah.
I haven't heard that from my mother ever. My
She was
mom
on-
never told me about that. And my
exactly
grandma told me, oh yeah, she was on da 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 da.
Reach
And I'm
for the
like,
Top.
what are you, like, that's
Presumably it's
crazy.
Alex
I mean, if
Trebek.
I were on something, sure, maybe that seemed a little silly when I was young. It seemed kind of, I don't
Nerdy,
know, Canadian stuff seemed kind of low rent or whatever compared
Hey, it
to
had
American
Alex
stuff like
Trebek
that.
before he
But
was
yeah, I mean, now it's like, you were on the, the Just Before Jeopardy kind of show
Yeah.
for high schoolers. So whatever, it's great. But anyway, no, I have no problem with her being a run-up for Reach for the Top, whatever. I don't
Well,
care.
I don't have
But
a
the fact
problem,
of
but the
matter
thing is, it just doesn't make her that spit hot.
No, the thing that I don't have any sort of, I give book reviews and I don't, all I do is read.
No, you write poetry. right?
Yeah.
You're getting to a point where you're, I don't know, there are too many Canadian poets. Or poets in English, frankly.
No,
who
I
have as much
I can't
technique
stand
as you
her
do.
voice. She sounds so pretentious.
Pretentious. Not
It's
arrogant.
awful.
Particular type of arrogance. Pretentious.
I don't know. It's just, I just can't stand her. I can't stand listening to
Yeah.
her.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
book reviews are, I don't know. Whatever.
Just up for
Anyway.
a Giller Prize. Just up for a Booker Prize.
But anyway, this guy, one thing he said was, he was talking about OCD, this type of OCD, and how people with it respond to situations differently or whatever than the average person, but anyway, he was saying that if, say you're on a subway platform or something, and you think, what would happen if I push this guy in front of the train? And he was like,
I'm glad you
everyone
remember
thinks-
this one.
Everyone thinks of doing that. He's like, but the OCD person would think that it means something or whatever. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Now, you've been on subways,
Like,
right?
Sheila Rogers,
Yeah.
she was like, oh yeah, I'm so pretentious that I think that all the time. But
Well, it's
anyway,
significant. She didn't object.
No.
Because I would have.
yeah, because
You would have too.
James and I were sitting there going,
That
what?
thought never
Like,
occurred to
we
me.
would
Ever. I've
never,
been-
ever, passive people don't think, what would happen if I pushed somebody? They're standing there going, what would happen if somebody
someone
tries
pushed
to push me in front of the train? I'm going to have to watch out for these
That's
people
what a
because
passive
one of these
person
people
thinks.
might actually want to push me in front of the train.
See, on the
And then there's,
Briggsmeyer
like,
thing, we both
there's
test
the
out
people who are
passive.
really like, and that's just us, like we're right along the blue-green border, right? And so maybe that's just us thinking that, but we both came to the same, we were like, yep, that's what we
What's
think.
going on?
And,
Yeah.
But somebody, I think, maybe who's more green down at the bottom might just think, oh no, everybody's nice and wouldn't ever think of doing something. So maybe they wouldn't think that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They'd think everyone's
might
like
think-
them, all
you might-
kind
my-
and
my-
gentle
my
and would
worry
never.
is my worry is more like, what happens if inadvertently I got pushed
Well, there's that too.
during
Yeah.
the rush thing? I
Yeah.
generally assume, like with that flunky who was saying, "What's with a mask?"
Yeah.
You know, my immediate assumption was, you know, like he came in and he was kind of cackling, and I thought,
Oh, yeah.
oh, see, like he
I
was
see.
kind of thinking,
Okay.
it's
yeah,
kind of
you
cute
and I
the
are
way he
different that
orders
way,
things
because
up.
my first thing would be I would be looking around at people thinking, which one of these guys is going to try to push me in front of the train, or is thinking, oh, what would happen if I pushed that lady in front of the train? You know, I worry about stuff like that. Whereas James, maybe not as much.
Well,
He's
I get
thinking,
worried
oh, it
about
might be
inadvertently
inadvertent.
getting
Yeah.
pushed. I
Yeah.
worry about it. I've been on subways in New York, Montreal, Toronto, and London. So
And well, you're very protective of self, especially since your back, since the cancer wrecked your back. Since the doctors that didn't diagnose the cancer in a timely fashion wrecked his back.
totally untimely fashion.
Yeah.
They took 8 years, 10.5 months to diagnose me with multiple myeloma. They really took their time.
Yeah. Anyway.
One of these days,
yeah.
I'm gonna review and read their names out, if Pauline doesn't mind, on the internet.
I don't care much about anything anymore.
These scumbugs should be swabbing out toilets.
I
Sweeping
should,
streets or
you know,
whatever.
maybe one day my mood will pick up or whatever, and I'll be all optimistic about something again. But for now, it's just I just try to keep busy so that I don't decide to just stay in bed. These guys would get me up. They'd say, "Pauline, we're hungry. Give us baby
That's
corn."
true. Yeah, they're really
Yeah,
They're really
stuff.
feeling up right now. The funny thing is, it doesn't take much to get Chihuahuas feeling up.
No.
I think they're just responding to not the wind in the willows, but the wind in the lilacs.
No, it's probably a good thing we brought them out, because they would have been mad that I hadn't given them baby corn
Yeah,
yet,
and then
and they
would
would
have
have peed up my house.
Well,
Peed it right
not
up.
all of them.
Maybe not.
Like Anniford's good.
Anniford's good. You probably would have peed up my house.
Here's
You can
one
act all cute.
Here's one guilty wild party.
Yeah, he would have peed up
He's
my
not
house.
just a guilty party, he's a
He would have
guilty
peed
wild party.
on the sofa. Right on. Right
Oh,
up
he's done
top.
it.
He's done it.
Yeah. On the pillow where I put my head.
Yep.
Speed there when he gets mad. So
Yep.
this is Elvis. It's not Elvis Stoico or Elvis Presley or Elvis Costello. He's way better looking than two of those, and actually better looking, I think, than Elvis was. Elvis Presley, right?